Hey guys, welcome back to Just Being a Mom podcast. I hope everybody had an awesome 4th of July and an awesome 4th of July weekend. People around me are still celebrating. I mean, at this point, it's kind of annoying, but I guess people bought so many fireworks that they just have to blast them until Monday. I don't know why, but anyways, I wish they would stop. The celebration, quite frankly, is over. But we actually did not go see fireworks because Elijah's bedtime is promptly at 7 p.m. And so I don't care if it's 4th of July, New Year's, his birthday, my birthday. He's going to bed at 7 because I like sleep. So does he, actually. So we keep bedtime very top priority around here. So anyways, but we did have an awesome 4th of July. We went to a friend's house and Elijah got to see all of his friends and play in a bounce house and a sandbox and a water table. It's just, my friend has like an awesome house and like an awesome backyard situation. So we were so grateful to spend time with them. So yeah, 4th of July was great. And I hope everybody else had a great 4th of July. And also, please pray for California because we've been having some earthquakes. We actually had one on 4th of July, which was like, it was like a little cute one. Like, okay, it shook for a little bit and then it was done, right? And then so the next day, I'm recording the podcast and like all of a sudden everything starts shaking. I'm just like, okay, it'll stop. But it keeps like shaking and I'm like, oh my God, like, my heart dropped. I was so scared. I ran to the room and like stood in the doorway and just started praying. And once I started praying, like it stopped because, you know, God has like all this favor on me. But I mean, you know what I mean. But I was so scared. It was, and I can put I'm going to see if I can put the audio, if it's not too embarrassing up, but, the audio is pretty funny because I'm just like, oh my God, guys, it's an earthquake, like at first. And then like you can hear like everything shaking. And then you start to hear the fear in my voice. And it's like a real earthquake. So, yeah, just pray for California because I don't want any more earthquakes. That was not fun for me and any of my neighbors, any of my friends. So yeah, pray for us. But anyway, so today on episode 14 of Just Being a Mom podcast, we are talking about another huge decision that parents have to make regarding their child's education. So basically, I'm talking about play-based learning versus academic style learning. So basically what play-based learning is, it's where the child learns through play and it's very like child-led. So basically the child learns things through like whatever they're playing with. They learn social skills, cognitive skills, fine motor, large motor, developmental, like all this stuff just through like playing. And even as the child gets older, there are like so many different philosophies like Reggio Emilia, Montessori, Waldorf school. And I'll link some stuff below so you guys can read more about those philosophies. But they're really great and they're really like child-led. So basically like as the child gets older, say like the kid's really interested in blocks. So there's so many things that they can learn from just playing with blocks. They can learn math, colors, numbers, just so many things. What, like, my brain is like fried still from the earthquake, but basically it's so many things that can be taught through using blocks is what I'm trying to say. And I actually taught at a Reggio Emilia school, so I've seen kids like thrive from this philosophy and this way of learning and just like really excel and like be able to, and this is like how they learn. So I think it's a great philosophy. I think it's definitely a very new school philosophy of learning, but I feel like it's great for children, especially if one, you know your child and you know their learning style and you know that this will help them to thrive. Then I would definitely give it a chance because it's really good. I think it it works for all different types of children. Okay, so then there's academic style learning, which is like your very traditional, like school, reading, writing, arithmetic type of situation where your child is learning ABCs and learning numbers and what else are they learning? Basically like learning like shapes and everything, just very traditionally. And I feel like academic style learning is great too. And I've taught at an academic school, and I've seen kids thrive from academics, and I've seen them grow and learn and just excel from being at an academic school. But it can go both ways, right? So this is why I feel like it's really important to know your child and know like how they thrive best, and if they need to be working on academics, or if they need to be working on more on like their social skills, or if they need to be guided a little bit more, or if they need a little bit more structure. So I think as a parent, that's for you to decide. And especially like when you're picking a preschool, I would go in and talk to the director and see like, exactly what they're doing. Like at a play-based school, there's more of like a flow to the day. Like it's very child-led, like usually whatever the kids are interested in, like if they want to be outside at a certain time, or if they want to, be painting at a certain time, or like it's very different. And the academic school is more structured, and it's just like, okay, right now we're doing reading, right now we're doing math, right now we're playing outside, right now, like it's very like 9:30 to 10, this is what we're doing. 10 to 10:30, this is what we're doing. So, and I don't think that's bad either. And I feel like, what am I trying to say? I feel like if the child thrives in either situation, then the child is thriving, and they're great, and they're learning, and either way, they're doing great. I want to let you guys know too what I decided to do with Elijah. Granted, he's only 15 months old, so I haven't gotten too far with him, but I've definitely decided to take a more academic route with him. And I made a little journal with like the ABCs in it and colors in it, so he can learn his colors and numbers. And I'll post pictures of it on my social media so you guys can see. And there's shapes, and there's like different pictures of body parts and like things, so he can take the pieces off and like match them. But it's basically like a puzzle, and it's honestly like he loves it. Like I'll put it up because he'll like rip through the pages, but so I'll put it away, and when he sees it, he's like, ooh, and I'll take it out and I'll do it with him, and he loves it. Okay. Honestly, if he didn't love it, I would still make him do it. I'm such a horrible mom. No, I feel like he's only 15 months, right? So his whole life is basically play-based, and I do academics with him maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day. So if I'm just taking 5 to 10 minutes out of his mostly play-based day, I don't feel like I should be crucified for teaching my kids ABCs and like letter sounds and shapes and colors and numbers. So yeah, don't crucify me. And I want to share with you guys the reasons why I chose to go this route. And so yeah, the first reason, I only have 2 reasons, but the first reason is because I struggled with reading, and I still struggle with reading. I suck at reading. But growing up, I struggled with school and reading and everything. School was just so hard for me. And I remember I used to pray to God to just like be smarter and just like, God, like, please make these things stay in my brain. And I mean, eventually I got there. By the time I got to high school, I was making a lot better grades. But like in elementary school, it was really hard because I learned how to read really late. And that's nobody's fault. Like, my parents were great. Like, they bought like Hooked on Phonics and all this other stuff, and they put me in like all these reading classes and reading camps. It was so, like, I was such a loser. But yeah, so I struggled with reading, and I know that I would have been a better student if reading came a lot more natural to me and easier. I just hated it. Like, I hated reading, so I wasn't good at school, basically. And so I just don't want that for my son. Just knowing how much that I struggled, I want him to get it, and I want it to come super easy for him. And why not? I'm teaching him now when he wants to do it. And because by the time he's like 6, he's not going to want to sit down and learn letter sounds. He's going to be like, where are my friends? Like, I want to do what they're doing. But so by the time he's 6, he can still go play with his friends, and he'll know how to read. So I think that's awesome. And the second reason is because, I mean, this one, I'm going to just be all the way real. He's a black man in America, and he's got to be 10 steps ahead of his white counterparts. He just does. Racism is still very real. Okay. I've experienced it. People I know have experienced it, and it's very real, and it's sad. It's sad, but, at this point in my life with my experiences, I can't take the chance of him not knowing how to read. I mean, honestly, if I don't even teach him now, eventually, yes, he will learn how to read. But I don't want to take the time. I don't want to take the chance of him being behind when I know that he already needs to be 10 steps ahead, if you know what I mean. And sorry, guys. I just get kind of emotional because I just want him. I just don't want him to have to struggle like I did. And I know things are going to be harder for him anyways because he's African American. But yeah, there's that. Don't fight me in the comments about it. So yeah, I want him to eventually be like a lover of learning, and I feel like that starts with being able to read. And if you struggle with reading, like, I don't think it's gonna be a lot harder for you to be a lover of learning, and I want that for him. But anyways, at the end of the day, it's your decision on what your child's learning style is. So it's your decision on what, let me take that back. It is your decision, but know your child, right? So know, like, if your child is thriving with playing with other kids and learning so much from certain toys that they're playing with, and like they have they're really interested in cars, and they're thriving and they're learning from like being in certain situations, go with play-based learning. If they need something more of a challenge and their brain needs to keep moving and moving and moving, go with an academic learning situation. So honestly, guys, either way works. I mean, we all grew up in a very traditional learning situation. I think, it's just a very new school way of, there's just, like I said, yeah, it's a new school way of learning with play-based learning, and it works amazingly too. I love the whole play-based style of learning. It's just that for Elijah, I just need him to know how to read, right? So I've already said that. I've already went into my spiel, but basically all I'm just trying to say is, your child, what they need, and trust yourself, trust your gut. And if honestly, things can be changed. If pushing academics isn't working, let up a little bit, let them be play-based. If play-based isn't working, go push a little harder and push a little bit more with academics. Either way, you're a good parent and you have my support, right? All right, guys. Well, that's it for this episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.